Hello, this is Dr. S.P. Goswami, Professor of Speech Pathology at All India Institute of Speech and Hearing, Manas Gangotri. Today, I'll just talk to you about the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016. Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016 is a real boon for persons with disabilities. This act has been passed by the Parliament in the December session of 2016. Under the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act, the various disabilities have been broadly classified into 5 categories. The first category consists of the physical disability. Under the physical disabilities, they have stated the locomotor disability. Under the locomotor disability, one can have leprosy cured, cerebral palsy, dwarfism, muscular dystrophy, acid victim. For the first time in the history of India, acid victim persons have been also classified under the category of disability. Then we have the visual impairment. Under the visual impairment, they have said blindness and the low vision. Third category under physical disability, what they have put is the hearing impairment. Under hearing impairment, they have classified 2 categories. One they called as hard of hearing and another is the deaf. And last, that is the 4th category, what they have put under disability is speech and language disability. Under speech and language disability, they have tried to put 2 categories. That's what they called as the laryngectomy and the aphasias. The second category, what broadly they have put is the intellectual disabilities. Under the intellectual disabilities purview, there are 2 disabilities. One is specific learning disability and another is autism spectrum disorders. And third condition is mental behavior illnesses. The 4th condition which comes is the chronic neurological conditions. Under chronic neurological conditions, one can have multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's disease, blood disorders. Then they have classified into blood disorders. We have the hemophilia, thalassemia and sickle disease. The 5th category, they have put it into multiple disabilities, and for the first time, this is the only act in which there is a provision for any other disability. That means any other disability can be added. The definition of persons with disabilities is that it should be a long-term physical, mental, intellectual or the sensory impairment. That means a person should have a disability which is either physical, mental, intellectual or sensory in nature, and the interaction of the disability is of such level that it affects the overall activity and participation of that individual, resulting in compromising the productivity, the identity of these individuals. The various barriers which have been stated under the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act includes: one can have the communication barriers, one can have the cultural barriers, economical barriers or the environmental barriers at the institutional level, at the political level, social, attitude, structural factors. And in this act, for the first time, it has been stated that there is a benchmark criteria to specify the severity of disabilities. The main salient features of Rights of Persons with Disabilities includes that every child with a disability in the age range of 6 to 18 have a right of free education, and there is also provision for inclusive education. That means around 5% of the seats are reserved for children with disabilities for inclusiveness. There is a job reservation which has been increased from 3% to 4%, and in this act it has been explicitly stated that the buildings should be accessible for persons with disabilities and within a time framework. If the rules and regulations stated in this act are not followed or not adhered either by the professionals or the various representative bodies, there is a provision of punishment. Further, the act also has clearly stated that there is a direct monitoring mechanism to look for whether this act is being followed in letter and spirit by the government organization at both the central, state as well as the at institutionals. This act has explicitly stated an important thing, that is what they called as benchmark disability. The benchmark disability means that if a person is having a disability of 40 or more than 40%, he or she is only eligible to avail the various concession and privileges. That means if a person is having a disability of less than 40%, he or she is not eligible to avail any concession and privileges. And for the first time in this act, it has been stated that person with disability who have more than 80% disability, they fall under the high support group. That means the organizations, the institutions, it is their responsibility to make the environment conducive for persons with disability who falls under the category of high support group, that is who have got disability more than 80%. And also, if the authorities do not provide a certificate or the facilities to a person with disabilities, then they have to reason it out. And over a period of time, it has been stated in this act that there will be a standard protocol, there will be an appellate, and over a period of time, everything will fall under the category of UID, that is, there is a provision to make it digitized. In this act, the certification is very important, and for the first time, speech language have been classified under disabilities. So the various categories of speech and language which falls under the disability includes, under the speech disabilities, we have conditions such as the laryngectomy, glossectomy, bilateral vocal cord paralysis, maxillofacial anomalies, dysarthria and apraxia of speech. And for language disability, only aphasia is considered under the Disabilities Act. And as per this act, the speech language disability is defined under the Schedule 1D of Rights of Persons with Disabilities, which states that a condition with speech language disability should be permanent and it should have either an organic or the neurological cases. That means any condition which has got a neurological organic basis and hampers the permanent status of an individual, then those persons can fall under speech language disabilities. And along with speech language, hearing disability also has been stated under this act. Further, it is clearly said that the benchmark for speech language hearing disability is also 40%. That means any person with less than 40% of disability is not eligible to avail the various concessions and privileges provided by the Government of India. Thus, it is important that as a professional, we need to provide the detailed reports of persons with speech language and hearing so that they can avail the disability certificate as well as the various concessions and privileges. For the first time, I feel this act has been a big boost in providing opportunities, in boosting the morale, in boosting the productivity of persons with disabilities to make them independent and productive members of the society. I hope persons with disabilities will make use of this act in their interest. However, they should be very cautious that any misuse or abuse of this act can lead to punishment. So let us hope that as professionals and as responsible citizens of this India, we make use of this act for the betterment of persons with various disabilities, and in turn we can make them productive members of the society. Thank you.